So posthumous albums have been a trend for rap in a while for artists that have passed, and albums being put out after passing being nowhere near the vision of what the artist actually wanted, or just as a cash grab from the label. And this can be seen for a lot of artists like X, Pop Smoke, and then now Juice wrld, that being with his Party Never Ends album being one of the most disappointing albums to drop this year. But let's take a look at some of the worst posthumous rap albums that actually have dropped these past 2 years and why they were so bad. And first of all, looking at probably the album most people think of when it comes to bad posthumous albums, that being Bad Vibes Forever by X, which had dropped back in 2019, a year after X's album Skins had dropped, which also was not received that well. But it did somewhat follow X's vision, as it was basically done, and a few of these songs on the album actually sounded finished, like Train Food and Guardian Angel. But the album just felt empty in a way. But after Skins dropped, another album was announced, that being Bad Vibes Forever, and this album dropped, and yeah, the album had 25 songs, and 80% of those songs on the album had features that X would have never worked with. Like, for example, Kill My Vibe had this dude named Tom G, which, hey man, this song originally had a feature from Trippie Redd, bro, a artist that X actually had worked with in the freaking past. Like, bro, why? And the album also had a bunch of big features like Blink 182, Rick Ross, Wayne, Tory Lanez, and these songs that did have features on them had such short X verses, bro. And a few of these songs sounded like it was a fucking X voice memo, and they put it on a beat, mixed it, and put a random ass feature on it like Tom G. Don't get me wrong, the album wasn't all that bad. It still has songs that I still listen to, like freaking Triumph, Heart Eater, X, but did it need 25 fucking songs, bro? No. And a lot of these songs on here and were like, unfinished ideas by X, and it sucks that X's vault wasn't as big as Juice Man, because imagine if X had like 3,000 songs in the vault, bro. Like, that would actually be insane. But after this album, they basically put out most of what X had in the vault, like songs like True Love, that song with Uzi. But yeah, man, this album to this day is not received well. And another posthumous album that was not received well was Pop Smoke's album Faith. Now, before Pop Smoke's passing, he actually was on the come up for being one of the biggest in the drill scene. And after his passing in the summer of 2020, when TikTok was fucking going absolutely crazy, it was quarantine, man, crazy times, Pop Smoke's first posthumous album, that being Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, was released, which was probably one of the best posthumous albums ever. It was constructed by 50 Cent, and it actually had features that Pop would work with, and these songs actually sounded finished. Like, it actually sounds like something that Pop would put out if he was alive. But that next year, Faith did actually release, and yeah, this album had no soul. Most of the songs on this album had features, those features being with artists that Pop would never work with, like fucking Dua Lipa. Like, bro, what? And they even dropped a deluxe to his album as well, which had more features, and Pop was never the type of artist to do any features. Like, he even said in an interview that he doesn't fuck with a lot of artists and is super picky when it comes to his features. So yeah, man, this album was clearly not in Pop's vision, and there obviously wasn't a third posthumous album put out after this, because Pop had no music left. And now moving on to the most recent posthumous album to drop, that being the final Juice wrld album, The Party Never Ends. Now, this was probably one of the most highly anticipated albums to drop in a while, as it was announced back in 2021, but it was respectfully mid. First of all, a lot of these songs on the album had 80% leaks, meaning that the fucking diehard Juice fans weren't even listening to anything new, and the album just lacked authenticity in a way. It just felt like a whole bunch of leaks put together and without any structure whatsoever. And fans say a big reason because of this was because Benny Blanco was in charge instead of Max Lord, who was Juice's go-to producer and engineer when he actually was alive. According to Chris Long Films, one of Juice's closest friends even said that Juice didn't even fuck with Benny, bruh. Plus, a lot of these songs on the album were just pointless, like Jeffrey, which was a leak from 2018. Like, why, bro? And features that just make no sense, like Fall Out Boy. Like, why not have features that Juice actually work with, like Thugger, Yachty, Ski Mask, and Trippie, bro? Actual fumble. And they didn't even drop a lot of the grills that the fans wanted, like Rental, GoPro, Biscotti, Carry It, and songs like that, man. And it sucks because this is Juice's last album, right? And if you compare this album to Legends Never Die, and even Fighting Demons, man. The difference is actually crazy, bro. Those albums wipe. But yeah, man, that is just some of the most disappointing or just flat out worst Posthumous albums to drop these past few years. If I did forget any bad Posthumous albums, let me know in the comments down below. It's been Ram Chan. We out. Love y'all.